Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm Rashana Levin, Realtor with KW United. So today's video, I want to talk about residential leases. Many people do not know when their lease expires. I find that very interesting, but it happens. But a lot of times people just sign the lease and they don't look at it. So especially if you've been there like a long time, like say 5-6 years, but always make sure you look at when the date is, because it may not be the same date that you think it is. It could be earlier, it could be later. So you just want to make sure you look at it in detail before you sign. I know a lot of times we do things electronically, but there's always a way that you can download the document and look at it before you sign. And also, once you sign, what I would recommend you do, I'm a huge fan of Google. I would recommend that you put that date in your Google Calendar or whatever calendar, if you're old school and you have a book. Put it in your notes so you remember what the date is. Because most people know like the month that it expires, but they don't know the exact date. So you want to make sure you give them enough notice ahead of time to do what you need to do. And you also need to be making plans. If you're going to buy a house, when exactly do you need to start the process? It depends. So if your lease is, you can't get it. I can't get people in a house in 10 days. It's possible. Like we find a house today, you're moving in before June. Like as of the date of this video, but it's possible to do it. But can you find what you want within that time frame? Usually, it used to be like the escrow period was a long time. That's not necessarily the case now. The challenge is, not unless it's a short sale or something, if it's something major, third-party approval, that makes it long. But the hard part sometimes is finding the house, not necessarily finding the house, getting the deal accepted, getting your offer accepted, because it's not a contract until the seller accepts, everybody agrees on everything. So getting a contract and being in escrow, after that, smooth sailing. The hard part is getting the house, securing the house. Because more than likely, you're going to be in competition with someone else. So what are you willing to do so? So know when your lease expires. And also, this video basically is knowing about how to break your lease. So most real estate comes on the market between April and August. Homes come on the market all the time, but that's when most homes come on the market. If you're renting from a private owner, typically you're responsible for whatever time is left on that lease. So say, okay, well, you have 6 months left on the lease and you want to move out 3 months earlier, then you're responsible for those 3 months typically. But talk with your landlord, find out common ground, what those options are before you enter the market and know what your options are. And ask them, not necessarily the penalty, but if you needed to extend the lease a little bit longer for a couple of weeks or for another month, how much is that going to be? Are they open to that? Are they willing to allow you to do that? But you also have to be willing to have their home showable to the public also, because more than likely they want to secure another person in there by the time you move out. So that is all for today's video. Make sure you know what's in your lease. And if you have any real estate questions, give me a call at 240-284-4114.